of the year. This is okay. I'm going to do it again. Okay. Welcome everybody to the OFAR onboarding webinar. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. We are so excited to kick off our 5th year of OFAR, or the Open for Anti-Racism program. This is just such a fun day to get to see everybody who is enthusiastic about doing this work, making good trouble. We're happy to see everybody here. My name is James Glapa-Grossklag. I'm an academic dean at College of the Canyons, and I have the honor of co-leading the Open for Anti-Racism program with Laura Dunn here, waving here. So want to say hi, Laura?
Hi, everyone. I'm the person that you've been emailing for the past few weeks. It's nice to see everyone and meet everyone. I look forward to getting to know you all throughout the coming year. I'm James's co-lead of OFAR and also Director of Teaching, Learning, and Assessment at Santa Clara University.
Great. Thank you, Laura. Okay, let's move on to the slides. Laura, if we could share the slides, that would be great. So we're going to use these slides to guide us through our introductions and sharing some basic information today. So there's our welcome slide. We're going to move on to the next one, please. Here's our quick agenda. We're doing welcomes and introductions right now. Laura will then share just a very high-level overview of all of our teams, our 8 teams from 8 colleges this year. Then I'll share a little high-level overview of the program. Joy and Maritez and Kim, our course developers and facilitators, will talk about your first core learning experience, a facilitated online course in Canvas coming up soon. They'll talk a little bit about that. Then we'll kick it back to Laura, who will say a few words about communications and who's who and how do we communicate about different things. Then we'll have some time for a large group question and answer period about the program. And then we will conclude with breakout rooms. We'll put you in breakout rooms. Your college team will go into a breakout room where you will have time to meet your coach, who will be your guide throughout the year. So that'll just be an opportunity for everybody really just to say hi to each other, get to know each other a little bit, and probably maybe set the first meeting. You'll have regular meetings with your coach throughout the year. I think one of our coaches is missing this year. The Pasadena City College team will go into a breakout room with me. But otherwise, that is our agenda today. Oh, and just a quick note, when you finish in the breakout rooms, no need to come back to the big room. Just say goodbye and go on your merry way to your Friday afternoon. So with that, let's just acknowledge our fantastic leadership team. No need for you all to unmute, but I just want to get your faces up here on the screen. So in addition to Laura and myself, we have Kim Gruey, who is one of our course developers and course facilitators. Kim's full-time job is as an instructional designer at Northern Virginia Community College, but she lives here in California with us and does a lot of work in the community colleges. Joy Shoemate, Director of Online Education at College of the Canyons, is also one of our course developers and facilitators. Maritez Apigo is also one of our course facilitators and is the lead coach. She helps coordinate all the coaching efforts. She is Professor of English, DE, and OER coordinator at Contra Costa College. As you can see, we've all got multiple hats here, right? We're all doing lots of good things. Our coaches, we have Jamie Thomas, who is a dean at Cypress Community College, Gayatri Manikandan, a professor of mathematics at Compton and a graduate of OFAR. We have Alan Leone, a professor of mathematics at Imperial Valley College, also a graduate of OFAR. Next slide, please. We have Tyrone Ledford, a professor of child development at Cerro Community College and a completer of OFAR. Ana Garcia, a professor of chemistry and earth science at Monterey Peninsula College, also a completer of OFAR. Cindy Sheeks, early childhood education professor at Moore Park College, and again, a completer of OFAR. And Hasna Sadat Ahadi, counseling professor at Palomar College. And I know Palomar is in the room. Hooray, Palomar. And also a completer of OFAR. We just do want to acknowledge that our OFAR is co-led by College of the Canyons and the Community College Consortium for Open Educational Resources, or CCCOER, which is a community of practice supporting and encouraging colleges in collaboratively developing open educational resources and programs to support student equity and success all across the United States. And as a member of a California community college, you are all members of CCCOER, thanks to our state chancellor's office being a member. If you'd like to learn more about CCCOER, you can scan that QR code there. If you'd like to join the CCCOER mailing list, which is the absolute best mailing list in the world to keep up on all things OER, you can join that mailing list by following the URL down there at the bottom. And maybe Liz, if I could impose upon you to drop the link to the email list in the chat, that would be awesome. Thank you. So then we'll move on. Thank you, Laura. And then we'll turn it over to you, Laura, to introduce high-level introduction of all of our 8 teams this year.
Yes, so I'm going to be going through a bunch of slides today, and this is where I'm going to do kind of a quick roll call for all of our teams, where you'll learn who your coach is, their name and their contact information. You don't have to write anything down before Monday, or at the end of the day on Monday. I'll be sending these slides out so that you have a reference for your team leader. So we'll start in alphabetical order with Chaffey College. Welcome, Chaffey, to OFAR. It's so great to have you join us this year. Your coach's name is Hosna Sadat Ahadi. The team lead is Jocelyn Monge. And if I mispronounce somebody's name, I sincerely apologize. Feel free to unmute yourself and correct me out loud. Elizabeth and Encarnacion, Tasha Mickens, Ian Jones, Patana It, and Jessica Moranes, Chaffey College team. Next is Cosumnes River College. Your team, or your coach, is Tyrone Ledford. The team lead is Ali Abdulatif, Christina Washington, Sarma Karsire, Diana Reed, George Baca, and Erica Reeves. Cosumnes River College, welcome to OFAR. And then we have Golden West College from Huntington Beach. Your coach is Gayatri Manakandan. Team lead is Noah Levin. Team members, Don Brooks, Derek Hernandez, Razna Husari, Shataru Pare, and Haley White. Welcome, Golden West College, to OFAR. And then we have Hartnell College. Your coach this year is Maritez Apigo. Team lead is Trish Triumpho. Team members, Trish Triumpho Sullivan, excuse me, apologize for the typo. That's the Sullivan goes with Trish's name. Marnie Glazer, Adria Gonzalez Carlson, John Newt, Juan Gonzalez, and Nancy Schur Bamer. Welcome to OFAR, Hartnell College. Laney College, your coach is Jamie Thomas. Your team lead is Emma Loyola. Team members, Toshia, Cristal, Rosalinda Solis, and Petra Shantegs. And then we have Palomar College. Welcome to OFAR. Your coach is Cindy Sheeks. Team lead is Chase Way. Team members, Naomi Ramirez, Nicole Au, Heather Blackmore, Brandon Reynolds, and Daniel Balazak. Welcome to OFAR Palomar. And then we have Pasadena City College. Welcome to OFAR. Your coach is Anna Garcia. Your team lead is Kiara Mazasset. Team members, Kelly Voss, Alexandra Garcia, Harrison Hayes, Juliana Rico, and Luz Maria Martinez. Welcome, Pasadena, and welcome to all of, we have one more. Last but not least, excuse me, San Joaquin Delta College. Welcome to OFAR. Your coach is Alan Leon. Team lead is Melinda Westland. Team members, Julie Jose, Heidi Pla, Mariela Guzman, Tian Hong Nin, and Deanna Azevedo. Welcome.
I just want to jump and say it's Deanna Day Azevedo. Sorry.
Deanna Day Azevedo.
Yes, thanks.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. We'll fix that. Deanna Day Azevedo. I see that in your Zoom name. Apologies for missing that very important part of your last name. So welcome all of our teams to OFAR. We're so happy to have you join us, and we're really looking forward to working with you this year.
Great, thank you, Laura. Okay, and just a note about the applications. We've gotten this question a couple of times via email. Every year we have way more applications than we can accommodate. This year we had 3 times the number of applications as the 8 teams that we could accept. And a shout out again to Palomar College. 3 of those applications were from Palomar College. So something's going on at Palomar. There's a lot of good energy down there. Anyways, welcome again. We want to give you a little overview. You know, we share this in writing. We shared this in the call for participation. A lot of this information will be in the Canvas shell with your Canvas course, but we want to make sure we at least verbalize this once here, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions about this in a little bit. First of all, you know, we divide the year into fall and spring, just like most of our colleges have a fall and spring academic term. So in the fall, generally think of the fall as learning and planning, and then the spring as doing and implementing. So in the fall, you start with a very core learning experience in a facilitated Canvas course. We need to get lots of paperwork done before that starts. So you already have received an email from Signwell prompting you to sign a contract. And the contract is important because we pay you for this work. We ask a lot of you throughout the year, but we pay you, and we need to have a contract in order to pay you. So make sure that you see that email from Signwell, that you sign it, return it to us before the course begins. As soon as you log into the course, you're going to see a survey. Please complete that survey. Once you complete that survey, then you can move on with the course. And the survey is important. If you've ever had a research methods class, you'll understand. Throughout the whole year, we do a lot of different research, and we do a pre-survey and then a post-survey. So do complete that survey. In the course, you're just, you know, it's a typical course. Well, not a typical course. It's an extraordinary course. But in the course, you're going to have reading. You're going to have videos to view and participate in discussion with your counterparts. Throughout the fall and also into the spring, we'll ask you to attend monthly webinars. Around mid-November, around the completion time of the course, we ask you to submit an action plan, and the action plan is just what it sounds like, a plan for you to implement something in the spring. So again, fall is learning, spring is doing. So what are you going to implement in your class, in a real live class in the spring? You're learning about anti-racist pedagogy now. Well, what are you actually going to do in your class in the spring? Your applications were filled with fantastic ideas, and those ideas will evolve. And then also during the fall, you'll have at least one synchronous team meeting with your coach. You might choose to do more than that, but at least one synchronous, you know, probably Zoom meeting with your coach. Next slide, please. Here's a quick calendar overview of the fall. You can scan that QR code, and we'll share the slides afterwards as well. In October, we have a webinar on decolonizing your syllabus. We have a webinar on searching, remixing, and licensing OER, and that's an optional webinar. That particular OER session is optional because some of you are coming in with already deep knowledge of OER, or you have OER support teams on your campus. Then we have another required webinar, examples of action plans from last year. Participants from last year are going to talk about what they did and how their thoughts evolved throughout the year, sort of to relieve a little bit of stress that you might be feeling around your action plan. Then in November, we have OER, open office hours, drop-in office hours, questions about OER, again, licensing, searching for OER. again, that's optional. You might have that support elsewhere. You might know that already. So that's optional. Then in December, just before the Christmas break, we will have a fantastic webinar on open pedagogy and the connection between open pedagogy and anti-racist pedagogy. And we'll turn the page then. In case you have to miss a webinar, you know, they're required webinars, but life happens. Maybe your department meeting is every Friday and you can't avoid that, or, you know, there's some command performance at your institution. If that happens, please do let your coach know, let your team lead know, and then we ask that you view the recording of the webinar and go online and just fill out a quickie little verification that you viewed the webinar. Just give us a little check mark that you actually did view that webinar, you know, just to have teeny tiny little bit of accountability there. But our webinars are really great. You know, neither Laura nor myself are experts in anti-racist pedagogy. We bring in experts in anti-racism. We bring in experts or people who are very experienced in implementing anti-racist pedagogy in their classrooms. So the webinars are super important. Next slide, please. Team leaders, attention team leaders. You've got a few extra responsibilities. Thank you for volunteering or being voluntold to be a team leader. In the fall semester, we ask that you help to arrange the team meeting with your coach. We ask that you set up the spring meeting schedule. We all know what fun scheduling can be, so please do take that lead. And each team submitted a letter of support from an administrator at your institution. We ask the team lead to check in regularly with that supporting administrator. And the reason we do that is because we want to amplify your voices and your experiences within the institution. You know, it's often the case with faculty professional development that, you know, faculty will go off and do something and then, you know, they'll implement it in their classroom, but it won't have a wider impact on the institution. We're trying to help you have a larger impact on your institution. So when we've certainly had this confirmed from teams in the past years, checking in regularly with that sponsoring administrator saying, hey, you know, we just met, we did this is going great, we learned this is what we're going to do with it. That keeps it on the radar of the administrator. Maybe they'll invite you to make a presentation. Maybe they'll invite you to the board meeting. Maybe they'll invite you to speak at convocation, et cetera, et cetera. So we ask that you keep yourself on the administrator's radar. And then if there are particular challenges that your teammates are experiencing, please let your coach know. You know, if you know, worst case scenario, someone is very ill and falls behind, or someone has to drop out of the program, you know, we want to make sure that we're aware of that. And the coach is the conduit for that communication to us. Spring semester, similarly, we want you to communicate out OFAR related campus activities. If you're doing something on your campus related to OFAR, let us know, and we will use you to help send reminders to your teammates about various program activities during the spring, particularly our research activities. We'll ask you to continue updating your supporting administrator, and again, continue bringing any issues to the attention of your coach so that we can all know what's going on there and find a way to support whatever's happening there. Okay, next slide. So again, fall was learning, spring is doing. So in the spring, in addition to implementing your action plan, we continue with our webinars. We ask you to check in with your coach, have a synchronous meeting with your coach monthly. And we ask for periodic individual reflections to be uploaded into Canvas, so that the Canvas course that you're going to be in the Canvas shell you're going to be in for your course, you're going to continue going back into that course throughout the year. We ask that you provide individual reflections, letting us know sort of how's it going in February, April, and June. Those could be written reflections, those could be video reflections. You know, we're very, very open to whatever mode of communication works best for you. Then in the spring, also, we continue research. We did that pre-survey. We'll finish with a post-survey, but in between also, we ask you to send out to your students a student survey, the students in the class in which you're implementing a change. So remember, we talked about that action plan. That action plan is about, one course that you're going to test something out in. Please survey the students in that one course. And then we ask you also to share with your sponsoring administrator a link to a survey. We do surveys of administrators as well. And a subset of you, 8 to 10 of you, will be asked to sit for an interview with our research partners. So we're doing quantitative and qualitative research, right? Go back to your research methods class. And we also ask each and every one of you to somehow share what you're doing more broadly. At a department meeting, during a flex workshop. We've had plenty of teams say, hey, we are on the all college meeting agenda for the spring. We are the highlight. We got the big stage. But it doesn't have to be that either. It could, again, just be reporting out at a department meeting. But we're trying to work into the structure amplification of your impact. We want you to impact your institutions in a positive way. So we're going to give you those kinds of nudges throughout the year to do something a little bit outside just your classroom. And then finally, or not finally, but towards the end of the year, we'll ask you to share the syllabus from the class in which you made a change, in which you implemented something. So share that syllabus and a sample assignment that kind of illustrates what you did. And then last slide, I think this is going to be our finally, whoops, then let's go back to the previous slide. Sorry, Laura. Then what we didn't mention here is finally, towards the beginning of June, we have what we call our OFAR showcase, which is a longer session, a longer synchronous session when we're all together and we ask you as a team to pre-record a video addressing some prompts of what you overall did throughout the year. How could you summarize all of your projects together? You're working individually, but you're going through the program as a team. So as a team, how would you summarize your experience? How would you summarize the impact that you had on your campus? What kind of outreach activities did you do or are you planning to do? So that's at the end, it's an amazingly moving experience to witness the great work that comes out at the end of the year. So that's towards the beginning of June. And then we're all done. That's culmination. Okay, next slide, please. Now I'm going to turn it over to Marie-Thèse and Joy. I'm not sure if Kim is with us, but our facilitators are going to talk a little bit briefly about the course. Just give you a sort of a sneak peek.
Thank you, James. I will kick it off. Kim Gruey, who is the other course facilitator, along with Marie-Thèse and myself. She's not able to be here today, but she sends a very enthusiastic and warm welcome to all of you. So this is, I'll let you kind of read what's on the screen here, but Marie-Thèse and I will walk through sort of explaining what you can expect because October is just around the corner. So we're going to be getting started in the course pretty soon. So the course will officially begin on Monday, October 7th, but that weekend, so Saturday, October 5th, we will be inviting you all in. You don't have to get started early, but sometimes it's nice to just get a little familiar and look around the course. So we will send you an invitation to the Canvas course. We are using the Canvas Free for Teachers instance. So the course will not be in your institution's instance of Canvas. The Free for Teachers allows all of us to join, although we're coming from all different colleges. So we will send you a link. And of course, if you have any issues with accessing that, we will be sending you a welcome email. So you'll be able to access us via email, but we will send you an invitation into the course when it's time. And as James mentioned earlier, there will be a pre-course survey. You will find that within the course. So not to worry, you haven't received that yet. It will be sort of the first activity that you engage in when you arrive in the course. And then we'll move through. I will pass on. We can move to the next slide, Laura, please. And Marie-Thèse will explain a little more about the course.
Hi, everyone. It's Marie-Thèse Apigo. I am one of the course facilitators and also our lead coach. I just want to congratulate you all on your acceptance into OFAR. I'm really thrilled about the year ahead and what transformations are going to come out of this experience in your classrooms, whether that be curricular and pedagogical. So welcome. Just to give you a little sneak peek, the course is 6 weeks long. In the first week, we will build some community, and then we'll just go ahead and dive right into what is anti-racism. Week 3 is really about OER. Week 4, you will learn about open pedagogy. And week 5, you'll start preparing that anti-racism action plan rough draft, and then in week 6 you'll have some time to refine that before you submit it. But that is just an overview of what's gonna be covered in the 6-week course.
Okay, and as James explained, the culminating project, if you will, of this fall semester are your action plans. So as you move through the course, we're going to be scaffolding this to remind you and kind of help you along the way with developing that action plan. But the course will conclude with you all sharing what sort of changes you plan to implement immediately in the spring semester. But we're also going to challenge you to think long term, because of course, we all will come up with 1,000,001 ideas, which are wonderful. And some of them we know we're going to be able to make those changes more immediately, and some will take more time. And we absolutely recognize and understand that. So your action plan will be that space where you identify how you intend to leverage OER and or open pedagogy to help make your teaching and your course anti-racist. So we have a template or sort of some guiding questions to help you with developing that action plan. You'll find that in the course. But we're really excited because the action plan, it concludes your facilitated course experience, but it also is an opportunity for you to kind of jumpstart working with your coach, who will be providing feedback on that action plan and who will be helping you along the way as you start implementing in spring.
Great. Thank you, Joy and Marie-Thèse, and thank you, Kim in spirit, for being here. We want to say a couple of more words about contracts and invoices. I alluded to them briefly, but we want to make sure that we can pay you. Again, as you just saw, we do ask a lot of you throughout the year, so we want to make sure we honor that work. So again, contracts have been sent out to your emails, to the emails you gave us. The contracts have been sent to the emails from CCC via Signwell. So make sure you're able to make sure you found that, sign it. That comes back to us. That's great. You start the course. If you have any questions about the fund contract stuff, you can contact Laura here. Then we'll go on to the next slide. Another piece of the paperwork puzzle. We pay you twice during the year. One time, we pay you in December. We pay you $500 for completing the course. And then a second time, in June, we pay you $3,000 for completing the entire program. Now, team leads, there's a little bonus for you for the extra effort. So that's above and beyond what I'm talking about here, but the base stipend is $3,500 in 2 payments. Please, in December and then again in June, and we'll send you reminders, but please send us an invoice. The invoice should be directed to or addressed to CCC OER Open Education Global, and we will send to you via email. We'll send to you the details of how to send in your invoice, and we also need a W-9 from you because that's, unfortunately, it's taxable income. So we'll need a W-9, and that information will be forthcoming via email. And Laura, would that be coming from your email address, Laura?
Yes, I'll be sending that out before the start of the course. And I just wanted to make sure that you put me in your contacts so that some of this information doesn't get lost. You will receive your kind of like W-9, how to fill all of that stuff out from Intuit/QuickBooks, and the billing, which you don't have to worry about just yet, will happen through a third-party company called bill.com. So those are just some email addresses to keep on your radar and to look out
and
for.
it's especially, I think, helpful to know the names of those now, because I know we're at my college, we get so many spam emails and we get phishing emails, and our IT department makes us all scared that we're going to open the wrong email and, you know, cause some horrible virus outbreak at the college. So it is really good to know the names of the senders ahead of time.
Yeah, and can I just say one more thing? The reason why we use those third-party platforms is for security reasons. So if anything happens and you make a mistake, please contact me, and don't email anybody your social security number. I feel like I should say that.
Yeah. Yeah. If some weird person asks for your social security number, it's not us. Great. Okay. And I think you've got this next slide, Laura.
Yes. Okay. So communications and support. I just said that to check your email settings, make sure James and I and your coach are all in your email settings so that our messages don't go to junk. Project-related communications can go to our Google group. And I will be sending out a big sheet with all of the contact information before the start of the semester so that you have all that information. Emails about contracts and invoicing can go to me, Laura Dunn at oeglobal.org, and your OER support, which is made possible through College of the Canyons. And that any questions about finding materials, accessibility verifications, formatting, will go to oer@canyons.edu, and then to copy James on that as well. And we have a lot of OFAR resources for you. We have our OFAR program review. This is all on our website. Program webinars can be found on our YouTube channel. When we post our post-webinar recordings up, you will receive a link to our YouTube page. You can also take a look at our past participant project showcases. That's featured on our website as well as our YouTube page, and action plans and project examples again on our YouTube page. And our OFAR research findings can be found on our website. And very, very soon we will have posted and shared for everybody the results of our year 4 research, which are just now, they're just putting the finishing touches on it and doing the final edits. So we're very excited to share that with you. Please stay in the loop with CCC OER. You can go to the CCC OER website and look for some upcoming conferences. If you want to stay in the loop, just click on Get Involved. Please join our cccoer.org community email if you have not already. And we encourage you to read our EDI blog posts and student OER impact stories at cccoer.org. And with that, I think I'm going to start shuffling you all, or no, before then, it's time for some Q&A. So I'm actually going to stop our share here so I can see everyone's faces. And if anybody has any questions, we have a few minutes before we head into our breakout rooms.
No,
I know that was a lot to digest.
We made really good time.
We did.
So I have a good question. We covered a lot of information here. Thank you so much. But are these slides available to us in case we need to reference them?
They will be made available to you. Give me about, usually the slides and the recordings are available within 48 hours. So don't worry about that. Everything will always be made available. So if you miss something, if you had to go to the bathroom, if you had to log off early, we'll share all of that with you.
Thank you.
Any other general questions? I realize we did not acknowledge our sponsors. This whole thing is possible due to the generous support of the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation. So we are not funded through a college. We're not funded through the California Community College Chancellor's Office. We are funded through the Hewlett Foundation. So many thanks to the Hewlett Foundation. And since we have made such good time, Laura, would it be okay if I asked our coaches if you want to unmute and say any words of advice or any key information that we missed that you think would be super helpful for our participants starting the year, since most of our coaches are graduates of this program. Anybody want to unmute?
Is it all right if I say something real quick?
Please, Alan.
Yeah, so I was a participant, I believe it was during year 2,
Yeah.
along with some other colleagues at IVC and Imperial Valley College. A really great experience. It was part of this kind of like little journey that I had with a couple of years preceding my participation in OFAR, that where I was investigating ungrading and equitable techniques in the classroom, and just kind of shifting some of my perspectives on how I should be teaching, even though I've been doing it for a really long time. This was a really great experience. I was able to collaborate with other colleagues on my campus that were in a whole bunch of different subjects, and also meet people across the state that were going through the same thing that I was. And it really, I don't know, it was a really great thing to go through. I liked it so much that I, came back as a coach, and so I've been doing that for a couple of years now. It's a great process. You'll learn a lot. You'll meet people. You'll reflect a lot on your own teaching and things that you can do in your classroom, in your departments, in your campus. And it's just a lot of great people. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Alan. Alan, who is one of two coaches who is a math instructor. So, to your STEM colleagues, sometimes, you'll hear, oh, numbers can't be biased, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we've had lots of great examples of STEM courses being transformed. Hosna.
Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome. This is a big deal, you all here. How competitive it is, and I'm really excited that you're all going to be a part of this journey. I was in the inaugural cohort, and I learned so much from my peers, but also the teachers that facilitate the Canvas course, and just having discussions, like meeting with your coach. And sometimes it's like we don't have an agenda of what to talk about, but sometimes just talking about our action plan, it leads us to these conversations that, it's critical. It's important to talk about some of the stuff that you may feel discomforted in, or you didn't realize that you had implicit bias. So allow yourself to kind of lean in. We're all learning at the same time. It doesn't matter our positionalities. I'm still learning as a coach, being a coach for 4 years. I learn from my team every year. I learn something new. And I just wanted to share one big advice that I have noticed in the last few years. And I tell the same advice to doctoral students as I'm on their community committee member. Find your rhythm as a faculty member, because you are a busy person and you have lots of responsibilities on campus, off campus, your personal life. Find time during the week to log into Canvas, do the assignments, complete them on time so you don't have to stress about it later, or you don't have anybody chasing you going, where's the assignments? We want to grade your work. This semester is all about learning in your Canvas course. Next semester, it's all about innovation of creating your action plans and implementing them. So I would just say find time If it's 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week, just find time somewhere on your busy schedule to get through this Canvas course. And that is my only advice to you. Have such a great time, learn from each other, and share great ideas, because a lot of you have great ideas that you're having conversations with other peers and your students at your campuses. Bring that to the discussion within Canvas, and good luck.
Thank you, Husna. Great.
I wanted to add a little something to that. I wanted to remind faculty members that and professors that you are the bones of the college, and hundreds and hundreds of students are coming across you semester a year, and the knowledge you give will spread like wildfire. So that's why the Open for Anti-Racism program is so important, because we are the systemic change, and we are the bones of the educational system. So just, be empowered, because how empowered you are will impact the students and your country. So it starts with you. So I just wanted to give that reminder as we jump into the program.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyrone. Absolutely. You're going through the program as an individual, but you are happening to your institution, right? You are part of that institution, core part of your institution. So we want you to happen to your institution for sure. Well, any final questions before we go into breakout rooms? Anybody, everybody? Lots of information to take in. If not, then I'll turn it back to Liz to get us set up with our breakout rooms. Remember, the next thing you're looking for in your email is the contract from Signwell. Maybe that's already done. Then the next thing you're looking for is the Canvas course invitation, which will be what, October 3rd, October 4th, Joy? October 5th?
October 5th. Yes.
October 5th.
Saturday.
Saturday, invitation to the Canvas course on Saturday, October 5th. And then you're off to the races.
All right. So it's going to take me just a couple of minutes to put everybody in breakout rooms. Now is your one and only opportunity for a bio break. Just kidding. But it would be a good time if you need to take like a 2-minute break to do it now. And without further ado, I'm going to stop the recording because we don't need to do that.